It's Creative Katie and it's Index Card Day 2017. We are on card 42 and this one is called Fly and Soar. And it's actually the prompt from day 39, ampersand. Was planning on not doing that one and then it all of a sudden jumped out at me as I was creating this page. So I'm starting with the gessoed surface, and I was inspired for the colors of this one from a jelly print that I had. And so it had blues and burgundies and white in it and a little bit of light blue. So I just decided that I'm going to kind of recreate that feel. So I'm taking a couple of the Pebeo Dyna colors. I've got the blue black and blue green, and I'm just mixing this, and I'm going to be basically stenciling over this, so I know a lot of this is going to be gone, but I'm using a stencil, and I'll put a link to a similar stencil because the one I have was a cut file that I got on Silhouette. And somebody had asked, is there a stencil that they could buy that is similar? And I did go and I did find one that was similar. This stencil is very usable. So I kind of ripped up a lot of paint there. And so I'm just adding it. Now this is kind of metallic iridescent, depending on how you hold the paper. And I kind of wanted that peeking through a little bit. So this was kind of an experiment in that respect. If you haven't used these colors, they are amazing. They add that iridescent quality to a page. I have about 4 of them, and I really haven't used them a lot. So you know what? That's what the ICADs are all about. It's use your stash. So you can definitely see the sheen here. It doesn't get picked up a lot, but look at that shimmer and that shine, and depending on how you tilt the paper, it looks differently. So giving this a quick dry, this paint has a different texture to it than other acrylic paint. So here's the stencil, the cut file that I got from Silhouette. And this makes wonderful, this works really well on the jelly plate. It works well on backgrounds. It's just been a really versatile stencil. And those are the kind that we need in our stash. As I've done more journaling, my selection of stencils differs because, you need to look at bits and parts of it and see the application. So I'm taping this down, and despite that, it still kind of moves on me. So I'm using, and I think I'm grabbing a felt applicator here. I'm using Prussian blue and burgundy and a little bit of light blue in there, and I'm just stamping here and there. I want kind of a mottled, almost kind of a faded jean kind of look. And right now it seems that I'm in my burgundy zone. I tend to go in little bits here and there where I will play with the same colors or play with the same materials. I kind of have a theme, and that helps me focus my creating a little bit. Like I might do, flowers, or I just did several cards with my Inktense, not Inktense, sorry, Distress Oxides. And I have to admit, getting back to acrylics felt like putting on that comfortable pair of jeans. I it is a medium that I am more comfortable in and using. So this looks fairly dark, and it is a dark background. But when you take that stencil off, you have that iridescent stuff peeking through wherever those lines are. And that just kind of adds and lightens up the card somewhat. This card, I really, like I said, I started it and I knew I wanted to do these colors and, you know, inspired from the jelly print. But beyond that, I had no idea where this card was going. And at the beginning, I thought I was just off prompt. I was going to create, you know, my own prompt based on what I have in my stash, you know, my quote stash and my clipping stash. You know, I took out a bunch of stuff when I started the ICADs. I went through my files, and it's all sitting there, and part of it was using it. This flower is another jelly print that I had, and it was just cut in my stash. This was a flower that I cut myself, and then I'm just kind of going through, there's my stash. Other things that, in my mind, may go with this. I have these little arrows that I cut. That was when I cut a stencil. There's a little heart there, or part of a heart. I'm thinking, okay, that will work. So quite honestly, I'm just flipping through the stuff in my stash and seeing what works. And if you haven't tried that, I recommend that you do. I find it very useful. You know, you go through your major files if you have, and just pull out whatever grabs you. And that goes into this bucket that's right there close at hand. So I'm just kind of trying out various things. I've got hearts cut out, you know, and I don't throw out anything, like it seems, for the time being. Not sure, you know, what I want to do. Those arrows, they're kind of cut out of a heavy air tag board that I made the stencil out of. And then I'm thinking, oh, and they're kind of metallic. So when I cut the stencil, I saved all these little pieces that come out. And so far, that's pretty much all I've done. So they're starting to get utilized in these ICADs. And I'm kind of liking the idea of these arrows there. And it's kind of brought together by the color. Now, if you do jelly printing, and here's where it was the aha moment. I have the sentiments as I was flipping through, and I found the ampersand, the and mark. And so then I went through all my quotes that had an and. Well, this one didn't, but I put fly and soar. So then I'm what you see me doing here, and sorry about the shadow, is taking pictures of each one, because I'm not exactly sure which one I want to go with. And I actually have some still pictures coming up where you can see each and every one of them. And you can leave a comment. This one, may every sunrise hold more promise and every sunset hold something. This one I'm thinking, I like the quote, but it's a little small. And what I'm doing here, I'm just deciding, okay, I'm going to cut it down. I'm visual. I need to see it in how it looks. So I'm thinking this one's a little too small, or maybe too many words. but I was just amazed that that and symbol was just so perfect. It just fit the middle of that flower, absolutely fits the feel of the card. You can't skip and be unhappy at the same time. So again, I'm going to cut those and place them and see, and then take a picture. Again, I'm thinking this one is definitely too small. And what I didn't want to do, I wanted to just use something that I already had in my stash. I didn't want to go get the computer and hook it up to the printer and, retype something, because I could have done that. And then this one was from the alliteration prompt, I think in the first week, be positive, patient, and persistent. And I really liked this one. I think the size of the font worked well. And then I start cutting it up and trying to place it, of course, to get my picture. Often this is stuff that I put off camera and you don't see this flipping through and auditioning things. So here's one. The second. The third one. And the last one. So which one do you want? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which one do you like best? Which one would you have chosen? So I chose this one because I liked the white border around the words. I really like this font. I'm not sure what font it is right now, but it was one that I pulled off defont.com. I like the white and the black, and I've left the white border on, and I find that that just sets it up. So definitely we'll be using this font to create a sticker sheet with different size words. My runner-up, I think, was be patient, positive. I actually liked the phrase better, but I liked how this one looked better. So I've just adhered everything down with gel medium, and it's so nice because the bottom, the base is all acrylic paint and it's all permanent. I don't have to worry about anything reactivating. So I get out my Uniball Signo white, and I am just doing kind of faux stitching around it to make it pop. And this kind of works really well with the white in the font and the white border around the sentiment. So one thing you can do, take out your jelly prints or color papers and cut a bunch of these flowers and have them in your stash. They can be in different colors, and then they will find their way onto a page at some point in time. Same thing hearts, same thing stars, some neutral type shapes. Butterflies is another one. So I'm edging this in black. I usually do this when I'm not sure I'm finished. And I'm kind of thinking, So I decide I'm going to outline the words with black, and that's, sorry I'm off camera. And this is a Uniball Signo black, but it's not the same as the white. It's just, I just found it. I don't even know where it came from. It was just a purchase pen. It wasn't one that was purchased specific for art journaling at all. Then I decide that I'm going to put my faux stitching around the outside as well. And you'll see me every once in a while, I'll just be writing on my finger. I find that's one of the best ways of clearing the tip and get it flowing again. And I did learn that you need to store these horizontally. And I think part of the problem here is that metallic paint, the Pepio is making it a little tougher to write on. And I decide I'm going to do those arrows as well. I just realized that arrow at the top should be pointing up so it goes like fly, and then this one is soar, going from side to side, just glide. Thank you for joining me for index card number 42. Please enjoy the close-ups. Give this combination a try. The white, burgundy, and the blues work really well. Gold also works well with this color combination.